Hey, hi, and hello. I am Charmaine, also known as Purpose Life Coach Char. So come in and sit with me for a moment. I told y'all yesterday that I'm going to be going live for the next 7 days. So this is day 2, and we're going to do a quick recap of what I was talking about yesterday, and then we're going to go a little deeper into our conversation. So listen, if you have your journals, go ahead and grab them because I promise you, I'm going to say something that is going to make you think. And when I do, I want you to be able to write it down so you can go back later and think about it, and go in deeper with it. So yesterday, we talked about 3 things. We talked about how we get caught up in our roles and responsibilities. About being a mother, being a provider, being the strong one, operating in our ministry titles, degrees, living up to what society says we are, and handling everything and everybody. Then we talked about how we become those roles to the point to where that's all people see us at. And if we're being honest, sometimes that's all we see ourselves as. And point 3, we talked about how we stop taking the time for ourselves. So today we're going to go a little deeper because what happens when we stay in that place is we stop operating in our true identity. We start living up to expectations. We start taking care of everything and everybody. And somewhere in the middle of that, we lose ourselves. And a lot of times, we don't even realize that is happening. If we, let's just be honest, we don't realize that is happening because we're so busy showing up for everybody else that we don't stop and ask ourselves, who am I outside of what I do? And I was talking with a friend of mine today, and we were talking about identity and purpose because honestly, y'all, that's what I do. And so not it's not it's easy for me to talk about it because it's in me. Uh, you know, but so we were talking about that. And one thing I said was this is a lifestyle. We talk about a lifestyle when it comes to ministry, but it's a lifestyle. It's not just ministry. It's not just when you're on a platform. It's not just when you're speaking, but it's how you live your life every single day. Because in some capacity, somebody is always watching. Somebody is always listening. So somebody is always learning from you, even when you least expect it. So it doesn't just apply to our titles, but it applies to our identity. And sometimes we shrink who we are just so we don't offend people. We shrink how we talk. We shrink how we show up. We shrink our confidence just to make other people feel comfortable. But who are we? I mean, if you're not going to offend them, who are you offending? Think about it. If you're not going to offend them, who are you offending? You're offending yourself because somebody's going to be uncomfortable. But the question is, why does it have to be you? Why are you the one shrinking when you've done the work? You've put in the time. You faced yourself. You've gotten to the root of the issues. You've invested in yourself. So why would you turn around and shrink yourself for someone who hasn't? Why do we dim our light to make other people feel comfortable in their darkness? We've all been in that place. I've been in that place. Sometimes I still find myself in that place, but I can acknowledge it. And when you can acknowledge it, you can grow from it. So why do we replay what others say? Why do we think about how they feel, adjusting who we are? For people who don't even know who we are. Think about that. They don't know who you are. They know a version of you, but they don't know you. So they only know what we allow them to see. That's it. So why do we give them so much space in our mind? Why do we give them so much power? So what would it look like to take your power back? And I'm just going to point out this. Taking your power back isn't loud. Taking your power back isn't being disrespectful. It's not doing the most. Sometimes it's simply saying, this is who I am, and I'm not shrinking anymore. So what does that look like for you? Balance. Walking in your identity doesn't mean you stop handling your responsibilities. That is not what it means. It means you learn how to prioritize. It means you learn how to set boundaries. It means you learn how to show up as you while you're still handling what needs to be handled. Because people treat you the way you allow them to. So, how are you teaching people how to treat you? That's something to really think about. How are you teaching people to treat you? So also remember, if you have any comments or questions, please put them in the comments below because I would love to be able to address them in the next live. I will be live again tomorrow, going a little bit deeper. But until then, I am Purpose Life Coach Shar. And remember that serenity is more than peace of mind. It is peace within inner